Hello, my TNVA family. I'm here today to share a few different examples for distributing your points when we do this points-based grading. I want to preface this with saying you do not have to use any of these examples that I'm going to share. They are just like I said, some samples to help guide you as you're trying to transition from the percentages that you used to do into a points-based grading system. And these are just here for you to use if you want to. You can adjust them. Again, they're not set in stone. You don't have to pick one of these. You don't have to use it exactly as I share it. You can do whatever you want to with these if you would like to use one of these, but they're just some examples to get you thinking about points-based grading if you're not sure how you want to structure your classroom yet. So it's important to remember that these examples that I'm going to share are per quarter grading schemes. So remember, we're doing 500 points per quarter for 1,000 points per semester. So by the end of the school year, a student could have earned up to 2,000 points. So these that I'm doing are based on just one quarter, so 9 weeks. So the first one, which is most similar to what you're used to, would be the assessments and assignments. A lot of you are used to using a certain percentage for assessments, a certain percentage for assignments, and this would be distributing these points based on the percentages you're already using. So of our 500 points, I would reserve 275 for assessments if I wanted that to still be 55% of their grade. I do take out 25 points for miscellaneous. So say that I ended up making a test worth a little bit more than I had anticipated, or I ended up having an extra quiz. Um, so I have those extra points that I can use. If I get to the end of the semester and I've not used those 25 points that I've reserved, I'll just go and distribute them amongst the assignments we did do. So I'll put those points in there. Or I may have students complete a class reflection to earn those additional points, or do some type of assignment. It could be, since it's an assessment, it could be a written assignment to show their understanding of what they've learned in the class to earn those 25 points. So just hold on to 25 points there in that assessments category, just in case you end up needing to make some adjustments. Along with this, if you're using the assessments and assignments, your assignments would be 45%. These percentages can be whatever you want them to be, and you can redistribute these points as needed based on your percentages. So in this example here, that means if it was 45% assignments, 225 points per quarter would be for assignments, again reserving 25 points for miscellaneous. Some examples could be, say I have a daily assignment and participation grade. Well, that could total 50 points for an entire quarter. Maybe I'm working out of D2L curriculum or Khan Academy or some other platform. That may be 50 points they can earn for the whole semester. And any other projects or large assignments, maybe another 100 points. Keeping in mind I have that 25 miscellaneous if I need to add a little bit more in places. So this is just one option, and it is most similar to what a lot of you have done using percentages. Another one, and one of my favorites, is more project focused. Keeping in mind with each of these, I have included assessments like a unit test. Some teachers don't do unit tests. I personally do, especially in a course that is taken the TN Ready, because it prepares them for the test that they're going to take. It helps build that stamina. So you don't have to have all of these components. Again, it's just an example. So if it was project focused, the bulk of my points would go toward projects. Say that I do a project each week. I chose 6 weeks because out of 9 weeks, we are likely to really get about 6 instructional weeks out of that by the time you factor in benchmarks and other assessments and unexpected holidays or reteaching, things like that. So really 6 good weeks out of 9. And I distributed those points. If this is project based, each of those weekly projects would get about 30 points. Again, you can do more or less and adjust this how you want to. A big unit project worth 80, some daily assignments, Khan Academy, your Mastery Connect, your quizzes, however you want to distribute those points, and then maybe a unit test there at the end. Keep in mind, even with this, I still reserve that 50 points for miscellaneous. So if I need that 50 points, say we end up doing 7 weekly projects, I can pull 30 points for there, and then I can redistribute the other 20 in places. Or if I end up doing more daily assignments than anticipated, or more Mastery Connect than I anticipated. So I've got those points to distribute as needed. And again, at the end of that quarter, if I realize that, say, I have 15 more points I haven't used yet, I could do a course reflection or like I said, a prompt to see what they have learned. Another one, and one that I have never used, but I thought of, and some people really focus on those power standards, which I think this is a great practice and something I may try in the future. So in this grading scheme, you would allocate your points per standard. So I think these would be for the people that have been teaching that subject for a long time and are very familiar with those standards, and have seen the TN Ready and know what's covered. So these points will be allocated based on the depth of that standard. Again, reserving 50 points for miscellaneous. My example here is, say that we teach 6 power standards in that 9 weeks. And you can see Power Standard 3 has 75 points. So it might be the most in-depth standard. So it's going to get more points than maybe Power Standard 4, which maybe doesn't go into as much depth. So it would have 35 points allocated. And so if I've allocated, say, 75 points to standard 3, then within that standard, I can decide, okay, well, those points come from quizzes, a test, assignments, curriculum work, Khan Academy, whatever it might be. I can assign that however I want to within that standard. And then at the end, I left out 80 points for assessment, participation, and any other assignments that may be combined standards, things like that. Again, reserving those 50 miscellaneous points to distribute wherever needed. So this is one I do not have a lot of experience with, but if you would like some help figuring it out for your standards and what you plan to teach, I am more than happy to brainstorm with you. And then last, and again, this is a work in progress. With this being my first year teaching middle school, I'm still figuring things out. But currently, at this moment, this is my grade plan that I plan to use. So I will have my 6 weekly science challenges. My room is more project focused, but keeping in mind there is that TN Ready assessment, so I need to help my students build that stamina for those assessments. But we focus on projects. And so we do these weekly science challenges, which carry a huge amount, huge weight of the total grade. Unit project lab, D2L curriculum. I do use that D2L curriculum, and I have them work through their curriculum to supplement. And I want to motivate them to complete their work and to get in that curriculum and engage with it. So I allocate some points for that. It's not a huge percentage of their grade, but it's enough to motivate them to want to complete that curriculum. And of course, I give them multiple opportunities to read that curriculum and take the short little 3-question assessments to gain understanding. Mastery Connect and quizzes. I still have the unit test, again, building that stamina for TN Ready. And then I do have that writing and science piece. We do 3 prompts every 9 weeks worth 15 points each. So again, not a huge part of their grade because they're working on science, but enough to motivate them to want to do well on it. And I reserve that 50 points for miscellaneous. I distribute as needed. Maybe we do a 4th prompt. Maybe they work through more D2L curriculum in one 9 weeks than the other. I might put some points there. Maybe I might do a reflection with my unit test and give them some credit for reflecting on their learning, so I can reserve those 50 points for wherever I need to put them. All right, so I am no expert in points-based grading, but it is something I have always used and I am familiar with it. So if you need any help with figuring out how to break up the points in your classroom, I am more than happy to help. Please reach out to me, send me an email, and let me know how I can help. And we'll get together and I'll spend as much time as I need to working with you so that you are ready to start the semester strong for your students.